this term is generosity, or I think it all started in South Africa with the title, you know, when you won the Miss World title. I keep telling people, you don't have to. You don't have to say this to me. It's very, very gracious, but I think people have been very, very kind. I think what's important is holding on to who you are and remaining in touch with your innate person and being that person, really, every single day of your life. I think that's what makes you who you are, that's what makes you beautiful, that's what keeps you comfortable in your skin, and really take each day as it comes in life.
Which is, as you said earlier, traveling as well.
Well, yeah, that too, amongst a lot more important things, but yeah, that too, of course.
I had a question for you. Outside, there's a quote of yours that says, "Elegance is attitude." And I was hoping maybe you could elaborate on that a little bit. You know, what to use elegance? Longines is very much a brand that's interested in pursuing this concept of elegance.
Yes.
So for you, one of the primary faces, what for you is elegance?
Like I was just saying, it's about really being who you are. And that's why when their motto said elegance is an attitude, I couldn't agree more. It was just a perfect synergy. It's about who you are, it's about your approach, your attitude to everything life throws your way on a daily basis. And that kind of transcends everything else. For me, it's about what's innate, it's about who you are. And it's about your attitude and approach to life.
And your definition of success?
In jest, I always say, don't quite believe it. You can enjoy it, but don't quite believe it. Because, you know, it's everyone has their own standards, and you have your own, you know, barometer for success. I think, apart from your professional achievements or aspirations or personal aspirations, I think you're successful when you're at peace and with yourself, and you feel a sense of contentment and bliss. And I think to be able to achieve that, the balance of holding on to your reality, onto your life every day, being connected, while of course going out there and doing all that you want to do to your best potential. I think that for me is I guess a way of interpreting success, because for the very ambitious there is no end to aspiration, because when you conquer something, when you conquer one, or probably the zenith that you had set probably when you were 16, by the time, if you achieve it at 20, and then you will set another goal, and you have to. And I think that's wonderful, to constantly want to do something with your potential, which could change through life. But it's important to be in a positive frame of mind, and holding on to being positive all your life, and while doing all that.
Yes, yeah. What's the best advice you've received for kind of career or even life balance, all those things?
I'm sorry. I can't recollect being sat down and advised, because I think the sheer pace of life has just been so hectic, and I haven't found a superlative for hectic to describe that word. But that's really been the pace, you know, all my life. But I've always kind of equated myself to a sponge, and I think life is like the biggest teacher, because while you're a kid, of course, your grounding, the roots are from your upbringing, and that's something I firmly believe in. But then, apart from home, you have school, you have friends, and then with your varied experiences, you have so many different influences. Sitting with you right now, talking, you know, we're exchanging, we're giving something to each other. So I believe I'm quite a sponge, and life and experience is the greatest teacher. So it's not about a rule book or a book of quotations or a book of, you know, do's and not to do's, or how to do and approach things. It's really about being open and receptive to life. So and that's why I call myself a sponge. I'm just like and hopefully squeeze out what doesn't work.
So you've been with Longines for a while, and you've gotten to know the watch world pretty well, I hope.
Sorry?
You've gotten to know the watch world pretty well. If Longines were to make for you a watch, especially for you, one that doesn't exist already in their collection, what would it look like? What would it be like?
Wow. We've never really sat down on the designing aspects, and I'm not about to squeal what I've already thought about, if at all. It's something that they had spoken about with me at varied stages, but of course, because again, as I keep repeating, life has been multifaceted for me so far. And I've had so many commitments that I think when you actually come down to committing to an individual statement, then I would like to give that kind of time and attention to it. Of course, that it would be elegant goes without saying. That it would be simple and understated goes without saying. But I think that's something that Longines embodies already. And that's probably what makes me very comfortable actually endorsing this brand, because I think I'm a lot like in a way what the company chooses to project and state in their designs. That is a blend of the old world, and yet I'm very much today's woman. I have a lot of, I guess, I don't know, my values, the way I look at life, probably has a sense of the way life used to be, but at the same time, I'm very much today's woman, very much multitasking, keeping up with all the challenges that life poses us with. And hence, obviously, that's the way you see me present myself. That's the kind of design sense or fashion sense that I have. And that would come forth in my art as well, whether it comes to creating a watch or whatever else.
Because I remember I met you last year, we were at a lunch thing together, you were talking about that you live with your parents, you're still close to your home and everything, and I just think people always be fascinated by the fact that works for you. Is there something...
I know, and I've been, this is something that I have... I've been met with a lot. That was before marriage, and now I'm sure people will be even more surprised that post-marriage, me and my husband also we live with his parents. So I think that's a very, Indian thing. Where we do, and of course I've said it in earlier interviews, and everybody's read them. I jokingly say we don't need to take an appointment to meet our parents and things like that for dinner and all of that. But it truly works because. You know, in our lives, I think whenever you take on a professional life, however early, you don't really spend that much time at home.
No, it's true.
And it's wonderful that you're all technically under the same roof. So, you know, when you do have and you manage to get some time, you have that time to connect with each other and spend that time, however little, but it's precious.
Sure.
And that's how it really always worked for me before marriage. And even now, after marriage, because it's a family of actors, and we are all over the place, you know, and we lead nomadic lives, we're working. Of course, I have reduced my pace, I think, and she's going to disagree. I think in terms of the number of movies, last year was crazy. Last 2 years, I brought out like 5 films.
Wow.
But like now, this year, I've just taken on this one film, and I'm literally going one film at a time. Because you do want to gradually make a lot more time, so you think, for life and you know, your people in it. Your family, your loved ones. So that's why this time, because last time I thought, I'll manage it. It was really fast paced, and really hectic. I think I took on more than I did manage to chew that, but there was a lot. So this year I have paced it out, and I'm going one project at a time. But it's still busy. But still, you manage to get a lot more time to kind of spend with each other.
Everybody lives in one place. That's good.
So what's left for you to conquer, do you think?
I didn't know I'd be here when I started at 19. So, and I didn't think that far either. I've never been, it's not been about conquests. It's not been about, I've really never had that, like, say when I became an actor, I always got asked, what's your dream role? And I said, I haven't created one. Because I think if I did that, then I'd feel, okay, I've achieved this, now what? So I've never created that one particular goal. It's been about giving my best to whatever I take on every day. Like if I've taken on this project now, then I give my best. I've come here today, then I do my best and I give my best to today. And that's really been my attitude throughout. And that's the way I go with the flow.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Can we get it?